What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to not get open. So we're going to be talking about the three key indicators that you can give on a route that's not going to get you any separation. So what is the DB looking for? What are some of the things that's going to make him sit on a route, and how is he going to be able to cover you, and you're not going to be able to get as much separation as possible? So we'll be taking a look at three different routes here on the three main indicators and the three things that receivers tend to do wrong, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value. If you're a receiver also, and you guys want to get faster, more explosive, improve your grip strength, all the specific things that receivers need to do athletic-wise, check out that very first link in the description for a 28-day wide receiver gym workout plan. Specific exercises for receivers in the gym, right? You can't get this anywhere else. You're not going to be able to find stuff for receivers specifically if you look it up on YouTube, whatever. It's a specific program broken down step-by-step, day-by-day for 28 days. So check out that very first link in the description to improve just your overall athleticism, overall ability at the receiver position. Hope we get you guys on that soon. Let's get started. So the first indicator we're going to talk about here is pad level, okay? Pad level and stride. So I know this clip kind of cuts off, but we're mainly focused on the break point right here, okay? So Smith does a great job of selling this. This is going to be kind of a good example of what to do. Not necessarily, oh, this is the key mistake that he makes, right? But if Devontae Smith is one of the smoothest route runners, that's how he's able to get separation, being a skinnier guy that everybody loves to critique and everybody loves to talk about, right? But when you're an elite level route runner, that kind of stuff is what separates you from the bigger dudes, more athletic dudes on the field, right? So now what a DB is going to be looking for, where should he be watching? He should be watching hips, right? So this whole region is what we would call your body language, right? So when I come out on a route and I'm trying to break back underneath, my body language has got to be great. I got to commit with my hips. I got to commit with my shoulders, and I got to be in stride to a break. With things that a DB is looking for, especially on like a double move route, and you see how this DB is fully committed with his hips. He's looking for a guy who's going to start chopping his strides down and slow down, or a guy who's going to raise his pad level directly up in the air. If you're that guy that raises the pad level up right before the break, your chin pops up in the air, this DB is going to sit on the route, right? But to get him to commit his hips like this, I got to be able to actually run, have that sudden drop, and that sudden drop is how you change direction when you're running full speed. If you guys aren't getting to this point at your break, but you're still making a tight break, and you still feel like you're running around a cone, and you're nice and tight, you're slipping back underneath, you're getting maybe a little bit of separation, you're probably not actually selling vertical enough. You're probably not actually truly running. A lot of guys will start to turn open too early. They'll start to open their shoulders, start to open their hips. So the main indicator, number one indicator that I want to talk about is pad level and stride. So make sure we stay in stride. Make sure I commit my shoulders and commit my hips to a break, because that's what the DB is going to be looking at. If I have speed and I commit my body, that's what gets this DB to turn his hips, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. I apologize, it cuts off at the end, but great job selling vertical, breaking this thing off and making this catch, okay? So now what we're going to be focusing on is leverage, okay? So the second thing that receivers will do is that they don't understand the concept of leverage. So that's the second indicator that a DB doesn't, or that a DB is going to be all over us. The second indicator that a wide receiver doesn't necessarily know what he's doing out there and understanding coverages, okay? So this is something that college coaches are going to look for in wide receivers. They want to understand, does he have a basic understanding or a basic knowledge? Not even necessarily basic, having an higher than basic knowledge of this stuff is great as well, but does he have an understanding of what DBs are trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish with leverage, and can he read coverages off the line, right? So now we look at this receiver right here. He's going to be running a slant route. So we are on like the 10-yard line, inside shade DB off man. So watch it full speed. So he does a great job attacking his leverage, hitting him with that 1-2, and then we're off, right? We catch that slant. So now the main thing I want to focus on here is that we attacked him and we squared him up, right? So that's something that a lot of guys won't do. They'll just see this inside shade guy right here, and let's say they got to run a fade. Let's say they got to run a goal line fade. They'll just run to the fade. They don't make everything look the same in this scenario. This is a gift right here. We should win every single time this DB is 5 yards off inside shade. That's a gift. Every single time we are up against this type of coverage, you and a quarterback should win every single time. There's not a time where you shouldn't win on this thing. So if I got to run a slant route, what I want to do is I want to square him up, right? And you see how he squares him up. He's real patient, gives him this little hesitation move. What this DB is supposed to do is that he's supposed to keep that leverage, right? So if I do have to run an inside breaking route, we'll run right up into him, because what a lot of receivers don't understand is that he's inside shade because he doesn't want to let you cross his face. So he wants to just run right into him. He wants to force you to the sideline because the sideline has his help. He wants to shorten that field for you and the quarterback to make it an almost impossible throw for him, that he's got to put this thing perfectly right over the shoulder, right? So if I I can understand that as a receiver, and I want to threaten him to the inside by attacking his leverage. And this DB just kind of squares up. He just sits there. That's easy money as a receiver. I could just hit him with a 1-2. I actually sell with my upper half like we were talking about earlier. I get him to jump outside, and then I can accelerate and look at all this space I created for myself. But also opposite end of the spectrum, right? I square him up, and let's say I got to run a fade. I got all this space now to win that race to the back pylon rather than coming off the line and just running straight there and letting him get to my inside hip and force me to the sideline and almost force me out of bounds, making it a very tough throw for the quarterback. So understanding leverage, or not understanding leverage, I guess you could say, is one of the key ways for that don't get receiver separation. They don't understand what a DB is trying to accomplish. They don't understand how he's thinking. So that's the second indication that a DB or that a receiver doesn't know what he's doing out there and he's not going to be able to get separations. Watch at full speed. So good job squaring him up, hit him with that 1-2, get him off that platform, then accelerate back over the middle. So now, last thing I want to cover, the third thing that does not get you open, the third indicator is that you don't sell with your upper half. You actually just take steps, okay? So let's watch this route here full speed. So you see when we come off, we give him this little hesitation, 1-2. And we hit him with this crossover, and I'm able to accelerate. Same idea on a slant, right? And again, same scenario. We got inside shade DB. What does this receiver do initially, right? He attacks him, right? He squares him up, and then he attacks that outside shoulder. When you got to run an inside breaking route, if that DB is going to keep his leverage to the inside like this, you want to try to attack that outside shoulder to A, either move him off the platform, or B, to get his hips to turn, right? Because you can't just, if he stays disciplined, and let's say you square him up and he keeps his leverage and you only have one move plan, you're going to run right into him if you got to run a slant. So if he plays this thing correctly as a DB, you guys are done. You guys won't have any separation, won't be able to get any space if he keeps his leverage to the inside like he's taught, right? So when I come out here and I attack his outside shoulder, now it's about getting him to jump. Now I got to have separation. So again, what the mistake receivers will make is on this 1-2, they'll just step. They'll just take 2 steps. They won't actually turn their upper half like this receiver does. You see how his shoulders and hips are here, but his toe remains forward and his shin is in that like 45-degree angle position. That's a power position right there. That's something where he could be sudden and actually push off of this and drive and get some explosion from his lower half while selling with his upper half. What a lot of guys will do is they'll not move their upper half. They'll step, but their upper half doesn't go with the step. They won't actually sell. They'll just take 2 steps, stay square with their shoulders, and that's not going to get any DB to bite because where's the DB looking? DB's looking at my hips, so I actually got to sell with my hips. Now, the second thing the guys will make in this situation is they'll make this throw. This won't get you open at all. Their toe will be pointing over here. The top of their toe will be pointing over here as they go with their hips and shoulders, which gives this guy all the time in the world to react because that's a slow movement. When you got to turn all the way back around, that gives this DB plenty of time to react. So I got to make sure the third thing that won't get you any separation is if you just step with your feet when you're making cuts. You got to throw in that direction, and you got to actually get your upper half turned in that direction separate from your lower half. Upper half is separate from my lower half. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job using this 1-2 to get some separation. Just make sure as a receiver, I'm doing this. I'm actually throwing my upper half, and I'm being sudden with my feet. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, leave those in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then again, fellas, 28-day wide receiver gym training program, specific grip strengthening drills to help your hands improve, explosiveness to help you off the line, top of the route, specific exercises and the reason why behind those exercises and how that helps your game. Check out that very first link in the description. Hope we get you guys on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.